What is up, everyone? My name is Christian. Welcome to the video. In this video, I'm just going to be breaking down the hope and the hero of the hopeless design and the meaning. So I'm going to start off with the Bible verse, 1 Thessalonians 1:3. We remember before our God and Father your work produced by faith, your labor prompted by love, and your endurance inspired by hope in our Lord Jesus Christ. Now, I made this design I think about 2 months ago, and then it became really relevant to my life about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So the situation was there's a relationship in my life that I thought was going to be constant, that I thought was going to be the same throughout my entire life. And really, in the blink of an eye, I got news that just left me sad, confused, and honestly devastated and completely hopeless for the relationship. I had no idea what to think, and kind of as I've wrestled with this and thought about, where does my hope come from, and how does that play into the situation that I'm in, I came to realize that yes, I can have, and I do have hope that God will come through and bring a miracle in regards to this situation. But I had to understand and come to terms that my hope cannot be found solely into these miracles, what I think should happen coming to fruition. That it can only come from Jesus, who is the only person who is steadfast, who is the living miracle worker. So the point of this design is that when we find that our hope is going away because of the circumstances of this life, we can put our hope in Jesus. And so just like my circumstance, my situation, and kind of just as the nature of human beings, we always want to put our hope into a certain outcome, things ending up a certain way. And it's not a bad thing. For instance, we hope that we get the job. We hope that we go on a date with someone. We hope that we get a good grade. We put hope in our performance. We put hope in this friendship lasting forever. We hope that quarantine will end soon. Whatever the case may be, we put hope in a lot of different things. But it doesn't always end up how we had hoped. And over time, as you put hope into things of this world, you're let down. And that's just matter of fact. Things just happen. And so using the same wordings from 1 Thessalonians 1:3, you will lose endurance from hope inspired by things of this world, because the world is constantly changing and letting us down. And so we need to find hope in Jesus. And since the world is letting us down, that's why Jesus is our only hope, at least our only constant and reliable source of hope. With Jesus, there is an end in sight, no matter if the circumstances of this life end up just absolutely devastated. It doesn't matter, because we, at the very least, when it comes down to it, have hope in eternity, in that we can spend eternity with Jesus regardless of what happens. So the point that I want to nail down is that Jesus is the hero of people who find themselves in hopeless circumstances, just as I did. And so no matter what happens, just think of your life, like whether quarantine is going a bit longer than expected, and a lot of people can relate to that. Whether you didn't get the job, you didn't get the grade, in terms of dating, maybe you got rejected, maybe your parents are getting divorced, or your friendship ended and you thought it was going to last forever. You fell short in one area or another. That happens a lot with sin struggles. Whatever the case may be, you can always have hope in Jesus, because he is constant in the trials. He is constant in the change. He is constant in the confusion. He is steadfast love. He's the only source of that. So that is why he's the hope of the hopeless. He is the hero of the hopeless. That's why we have hope in him. So I want to encourage you guys to maybe memorize 1 Thessalonians 1:3 and find a time in your life, maybe similar to mine, if you can relate at all, when you were left hopeless by the circumstances of the world. That way you can share with others, if they ask you about the shirt, how you were able to cling to Jesus during that time, because of his steadfast love, regardless of what was going on. And that's all. Boom! Yes. Yes. Yes.